Carroll, bringing it forward. Thompson's making the run. Carroll hangs on to it though. Still Davy Carroll. Could go all the way here. Oh, what a goal!
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Ringing the Blues, your award-nominated podcast dedicated to the mighty Wycombe Wanderers. On this week's show, we have all the action and reaction from the Chairboys' snowy trip to Hillsborough. There is an interview with former Wanderer Hakan Hayrettin, plus we hear from Bucks Free Press reporter James Richings, who is raising money for a great cause linked to his family. But first, let's head to Mexico City for the results and some essential Chairboy Spanish with Uri.
We are ringing the blues from Mexico City. My name is Uri, and here are the results for League 1. AFC Wimbledon 2, Fleetwood Town 2, Bolton Wanderers 2, Cheltenham Town 2, Burton Albion 2, Doncaster Rovers 0, Cambridge United 1, Sunderland 2, Gillingham 0, Portsmouth 1, Morecambe 0, MK Dons 4, Oxford United 0, Rotherham United 0, Plymouth Argyle 1, Wigan Athletic 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Shrewsbury Town 1, Charlton Athletic 0, Lincoln City 0, Accrington Stanley 1. And Chairboy Spanish this week? Well, you know, life imitates art. And maybe you've seen the series Ted Lasso about an American coach coaching an English football team called AFC Richmond. Well, they make this joke that may be recurrent in English football whenever Sheffield Wednesday plays. So, this time, Chairboy Spanish is Wycombe play Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday. You know? So, in Spanish, I'm gonna teach you some days of the week. Wednesday, miércoles, like Mercury. Wednesday, miércoles. Saturday, sábado, like Sabbath or Sabbath, like Black Sabbath. Saturday, sábado. So, Wycombe played Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday. Wycombe jugó con Sheffield Wednesday el sábado. O bien, Wycombe played Sheffield los miércoles el sábado. Well, and before sending my microphone back to England, I need to tell you that Phil's Mexican team in the Mexican League, the Pumas, just beat my team, the America Eagles, on quarterfinals. Go Pumas, Phil, you won this time. Back to England with my amigo Phil Catchball. Adios.
The game at Sheffield Wednesday survived a late pitch inspection due to the snow. Plus, there was an interruption in the first half because of a crowd disturbance. Here's what happened.
Everyone thought we'd gone off the rails. Believe me, the rumours of us being an average team are untrue. We're a good side, and we want to keep being a good side, and we want to keep pushing and probing and attacking these teams away from home.
Now McCleary's away down that left-hand side. Corner of the penalty area now. McCleary's inside the box. Finds Bermetti. Bermetti! It scores! It's deflected as it hit Vokes on the way in. I think it has. Wycombe don't care who it came off. It's in the back of the net and they lead 1-0 here at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 0. Wycombe Wanderers 1. Hunt puts the ball into the box. The ball and it breaks to Gregory. Gregory through on goal. And now Shadipo scores! The equaliser has come in first half stoppage time. Sheffield Wednesday have been knocking on the door and Gregory unselfishly laid it off to Shadipo, and it's Sheffield Wednesday 1, Wycombe Wanderers 1. Cross comes in, headed clear by Wheeler, but only as far as the edge of the area. Shot comes in there. Windass has gone through Stockdale somehow from the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed strike, and Sheffield Wednesday lead here at Hillsborough. Windass with the goal, his second in as many games, and Wycombe have it all to do now at the start of the second half. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Wycombe Wanderers 1. Abita steps up, drills it in and scores!
My word, what a goal.
Jordan Abita, left-footed, Peacock Barrel looks disappointed. Jordan Abita looks elated, and Wycombe Wanderers are back level here at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Wycombe Wanderers 2.
Wow.
Gareth, a battling point here in tough conditions in a great stadium.
Yeah, my boys this week have showed both sides of the game. Some fantastic football at Plymouth, plenty of shots and tactical nous. And then coming here, I'm hoping you can hear that wind on the microphone. It's absolutely freezing cold. The game was nearly called off before, and the pitch was horrendous. The conditions were terrible. If I'm honest, Sheffield Wednesday, they took the spoils second half. Can't argue with that. But my fans never stopped singing. David Stockdale never stopped saving, and we take a point home. It's been a fantastic week, 3 games in a week and 7 points taking home. It's brilliant.
Spin back to the first half. Wycombe were doing Wycombe things in that first half period and got themselves ahead, got the crowd frustrated, but then there was an incident in the stand which brought about a 7-minute delay, and it seemed to really invigorate Sheffield Wednesday after the restart.
Yeah, we really thought that that played a big part in today. There was a momentum change. We talk a lot about momentum in football, and we were definitely on the ascendancy. We were playing some fantastic stuff around the edge of their box, and after the break we seemed to lose it a little bit. Maybe it was one of those things, and you have to deal with that. And Sheffield definitely came out and looked good, and the goal just before half time, really disappointing for us. But to come back the way we did, fantastic free kick from Jordan. He's got a brilliant left foot there, and him and JJ are competing for that left back role. Brilliant to see that fly in. Didn't create as much as we have done today. I actually thought I had a few tired legs, Phil, today. I think the momentous effort that they give me over the last 3 games is just, it's taking its toll on legs and taking its toll on injuries. Let's say like Josh Scowen and one or two others. Curtis Thompson's playing through, patched up, and Sam Bolts, and there's a few legs need resting. We haven't got the ability to change up like Darren Moore did before the game. He's made plenty of changes in his team. I haven't got the ability to do that. But I don't want the ability to do it. I'm really happy where we are with our squad. We just need this 10-day break now before Burton to get everyone fresh again, and looking forward to going into this winter period with with an exciting look at how many teams we've played away from home already. They've all got to come to us now. Seems to be a lot of the top boys we've played away from home, which is great. We're good at home. We play some entertaining stuff. Gareth McCleary got plenty more minutes under his belt. Anis Mehmeti learning plenty of lessons today. Even Ollie Pendle we pulled up before the game. A real honest, such a young man to say, Gaffer, I don't want to let the boys down today. I picked something up at Plymouth, and don't stick me on the bench. It's brilliant what we've got here. It really is, the maturity of that boy. We're looking forward to the break. We'll be working hard, but I've given the lads 1 or 2 days off now because they deserve it, and I think they can all have a gathering together and celebrate what they've done so far this season, because Wycombe Wanderers certainly have surprised a lot of people.
A midweek trip to Plymouth and then a long trip on a Saturday to Sheffield Wednesday. I'm guessing you'd have taken 4 points at the beginning of the week from those 2 trips if it was offered to you?
I might have took 2, Phil, you never know, because it's staying unbeaten was important, but to get the 3 at Plymouth in such an emphatic way was brilliant. And I think that people will have short memories and think we weren't as good as we were at Plymouth today, but still, the sign of a team that might achieve something is a sign that picks things up when they're not at their best. They gave me everything, the boys, today, but I think it was another tough away trip, and it has taken its toll. But we'll be back really strong, and the rest will do us good next week. I have an unbelievable set of boys who I'll run through a brick wall for them, never mind them for me, and that's what we are here. Can't wait to get in the warm now and tell them how proud I am of them, but tell them not to go crazy with these days off, because we're going to be working hard at the end of next week for for Burton Albion at home. It's a Tuesday game. We want to get back to winning ways at Adams Park and back up the Bolton victory. But so far so good here, yeah.
I'm gathering from what you're saying that this Saturday off now because of the FA Cup weekend not involving Wycombe, that's a good thing for some players at this stage of the season.
Definitely, it's needed for us. It's come at the right time. It's not as though we didn't try to get through the FA Cup. I mean, the amount of chances we had against Hartlepool, but every cloud and the silver lining is a weekend off where I think we can get a few legs back. Josh Scowen obviously has been missing of late, and he's huge for us, and so one or two others will, like I said, they were patched up today. There's a few medical and painkillers and anti-inflammatories knocking about before the game today, because the boys really are, they've banged up and given me everything, especially in the two last games. So to come away here, like I say, get a point, I'd have took that before the game. But I might have took the 3 when we went 1-0 up. It was great. Fans were brilliant. Thank you so much. Came in numbers, and I think there's a lot of respect between the two clubs, especially after their promotion back in 2012. I think we celebrated it with them. Hopefully, both teams are happy with the point today.
So a decent game then at Hillsborough in the snow, with the first half being interrupted for a reported disturbance amongst the Sheffield Wednesday fans. After the game, their non-disturbed fans had this to say. It's the opposition view. Joe Cran.
Weird game, that. At 1-0, you'd take a 1-1, but at 2-1 and in control, it feels like a real blow to draw 2-2. Ultimately, a draw after going behind against Wycombe isn't a bad result, but we definitely deserve more today.
Owl 71.
The first half medical emergency was young'uns fighting amongst themselves after someone slagged off Barry Bannon. Ended badly for one supporter who got knocked out, which is why bystanders started calling for stretchers. He obviously came to because the stretchers didn't get used. Did see a lad getting escorted out though.
Crooks Owl.
Lifetime bans for the lot of them. Absolute cretins, and not welcome at our club.
Joey Stack.
A frustrating result, given how much we dominated the game. But the point is, we did dominate it. A few weeks ago, we'd have lost it after going 1-0 down. The penny is starting to drop, and the only way is up from here.
Davy Boy 66.
That was a team that just comfortably dismantled Plymouth, and we play them off the park.
Circle 7.
I'm not too upset with the point, given our current defensive problems. But more than anything, I want to be entertained, and the game today really did that. In the horrendous conditions that could have been an absolute garbage match, but was really very good. If we can up our ability to convert chances, we could really destroy teams.
Rich Thorne.
Not the result we deserved, but you can't fault the performance. It was a silly free kick to concede, and the keeper should have done better. But we ought to have been out of sight before they equalised.
Todwick Owl.
Wycombe were absolutely shocking. They're getting points from battling and bullying teams. And they didn't even get the better of us on that. We completely murdered them. Bet they can't believe they got a point.
Rhys Davies.
How they've shithoused their way to a point I will never know. We were even better than we were on Tuesday. 18 shots and 8 on target. To their 2. Play like that every week and we'll piss this league.
Holm Owl.
Play like today and we're going up. No doubt in my mind. One of the better teams in the division were our equals for 25 minutes and were then overwhelmingly bossed for the next 65. We were superb in attack, and oddly, despite conceding 2, we stopped them getting a sniff otherwise. We are on fire and only look like getting stronger.
SIJ.
About Wycombe. Thanks for the promotion in 2012, but what an utter bobbins football team they are. time-wasting, hoofball merchants from the first whistle to the last. Gareth Ainsworth stood there on the sidelines looking like a man having a midlife crisis. I bet he's bought a sports car recently. And they celebrated at the end like they'd won promotion.
On Monday night, it was the Football Supporters Association Awards in central London. Ringing the Blues was nominated for Club Podcast of the Year for a third year in a row. And for the third year in a row, we didn't win. But I did bump into former Wanderer Hakan Hayrettin in the bar. I started our chat by asking him about his amazing goal away at Preston and how it came about. It was way back in 1993-1994 season, in injury time on the Deepdale plastic pitch, with the scores locked at 2-2. But it all started on the training ground.
Do you know what? It was the gaffer, Martin O'Neill at the time, was inside talking to two apprentices, and he was speaking forever, and we're looking around to see where he was, and he weren't there. And the captain at the time, Glyn Creaser, said, let's do a bit of shooting. And that's what happened. We were shooting from distance, and we kept on for about an hour. The gaffer came, we went away, and it was just then when the ball, he's kicked it Heidi, Tim Lamford has trapped it just on the D. And I've pushed it once, and I thought, I'm going to hit this. And that's what happened. So it was the best moment of my career at Wycombe. The bunch of lads that I played with there, and I still keep in touch with them now, by far the best. And by far the best club I've ever played for in my career.
And how far out was it? Because as time's gone on,
40 yards.
I reckon it's about 2.5 miles by now.
No, it was about 35, 40 yards. But the beauty of it was the last second of the game. And I think that really helped us. And that night we had a great night coming back. And it's brilliant, brilliant. I have so many fantastic memories of the club. And the first thing I do when I look up, see how Wycombe got on, you know. So, amazing club, amazing support. I'm glad that they've got some great owners now and they're doing fantastically well. And I'd love to come back now and again and watch them play. But obviously I'm managing myself and I'm full-time at Maidstone. But best moment of my career.
Hakan, as a fan, every week we felt indestructible. What was it like to be a player in that team?
Amazing. We played for the manager, who we all respected. We had respect for each other. It was a family orientation sort of thing. Just walking in through the doors was just amazing. And I was a latecomer to that group, and they welcomed me in. From the captain, Grease, who I knew from Barnet, to King Scott, to Guppy, to Simon, every single one. Rhino, who was a leader of men, you know. And I had the best time of my life there. And my only regret was that I wish I'd stayed. I'd gone to Cambridge, and I wish I'd stayed. Great club, great team, probably the best team. And I was lucky because I played for Barnet that got promoted. Wycombe were the untouchables.
And there was one night, Wycombe 5, Runcorn 1, pitch invasion.
Yeah.
Someone jumped on your back.
That was you.
That was me.
That was you. And I will never forget it because you jumped on and I just carried you around. But see, these memories all keep coming back. And I keep telling my son, you know, these are the things that I've gone through. Amazing. And he finds Wycombe pictures and he sends them to me. Dad, is this you? Well, that was me about 3 stone lighter. Yeah, it was me. But great club. I can't speak highly of it.
Well, I'm not going to jump on your back tonight. But what are you up to these days?
I'm at Maidstone. I've been there 3 years. I'm first team manager there. We're doing all right. We're full time. Obviously, since I left Wycombe, I've always been involved in football. I got my first job at Watford with Graham Taylor, God rest his soul. And ever since then, I've only been out of work 6 months. So, been fortunate enough to work for the likes of John Steele. I was a coach at Luton when we got promoted. Great achievement. And then Braintree and now Barnet. And I'm lucky. I'm blessed. But I'm blessed enough to say that I played for Wycombe Wanderers.
Hakan, it's wonderful to see you tonight at the FSA Awards, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
James Richings is the Wycombe Wanderers reporter for the Bucks-Free Press, which means he never misses a game at Adams Park. But for the upcoming game against Wimbledon, he'll be arriving by an unusual method to raise money for charity.
Every time I go to Adams Park, I always drive, which is, it's not too bad, half an hour there and back. But on the 11th of December, I'll be going I'll be using a different mode of transport. I'll be walking from my house in Aylesbury over to Adams Park in aid of the British Heart Foundation.
How far is that? It's Aylesbury to Wycombe. That's quite a long way.
Yeah, so it says around 5 and a bit hours in terms of walking. But my brother and I, we're preparing ourselves the correct way. We're in the gym as much as we can, trying to get those walks around the block to mentally prepare ourselves as well. So we just hope it doesn't rain, otherwise we'll be soaked.
Well, fingers crossed for you on that one. And why this charity in particular?
So my grandfather, he was a huge football fan, and my brother and I were very, very close to him. And in the summer of 2009, the 13th of June 2009, he died suddenly at the age of 67 of a heart attack, and it completely shocked us all. He had just been on holiday with my grandmother in South Africa. He had a lovely time, and within 4 days of returning back to England, he was no longer with us, and it really did send shockwaves down our spine because it was completely unexpected. And since then, we've done everything we can to try and raise awareness for those with cardiovascular issues. And we're hoping to raise £670 by the 11th of December to mark my granddad's age of 67. He wasn't a Wycombe fan. He was actually a Bristol Rovers fan. But with Wycombe being the local team in the area and me covering them for the last few years, they were more than happy for me to do it. And hopefully we'll be able to raise a fair amount of money for the charity.
Well, it's a wonderful thing you're doing as well, and this would affect a lot of people. I remember I lost my own grandfather to a sudden heart attack as well when he was just 62, and it just makes you realise life, isn't it? 1 minute you're there, the next minute you're gone. You just got to seize the day, haven't you? Oh,
100%. Every day is a blessing, and you should try and seize every day that you get. And with my granddad, he did that. He was larger than life. And he really did have the best holiday he could possibly imagine when he was in South Africa. So I'm glad, in a positive way, he went out off the back of a great 3-week break. But we miss him every day. We think about him as much as we can. And hopefully people will get behind us and donate, because cardiovascular issues are a real issue in this country. And hopefully we'll be able to raise some more funds to help those who need it.
Well, it's a brilliant thing you're doing, mate. And for those that don't know you, aren't familiar with you, you are the Wycombe Wanderers reporter for the Bucks-Free Press. And how long have you been doing that?
So I've been with the BFP for 2.5 years, but I'm in my third season of covering Wanderers now. 2 years in November I started. My first game was the 1-0 win over Doncaster when JJ scored a very, very, very late penalty. And that was the weekend of the big sleep out, where a good few thousand people slept over in Adams Park that night. And yeah, it's been great. It's been a real roller coaster with the promotion and my first season and relegation and my second. But hopefully promotion is on the cards for this season. They've played really well, Wycombe, so far this campaign. And after the Bolton win and the Plymouth win and the Wednesday draw, hopefully the momentum will continue against Burton next Tuesday. So yeah, it's been a real roller coaster, and I've absolutely enjoyed every second of it.
Well, it's never dull covering Wycombe Wanderers. I know that much as well as a reporter or two. But you're a football fan, but now as a reporter, has that changed your relationship with the game?
Oh, 100%. I've looked at things so differently, because prior to joining the BFP, I'm an Arsenal fan, if you must know, Phil. I know.
I might have to take you off this podcast.
I know, because you're from the other side of North London, but at least we cover Wycombe, so that's one neutral ground we have. When I started reporting, obviously I was a novice, I wasn't too sure the ins and outs, but you look at it differently now, and at the end of the day, football is football. And last season especially, I was so privileged to go and watch Wycombe live at Adams Park during a time where we couldn't go and watch live football at all, really, for the everyday public. So, it's a real privilege to watch football for a living, and I'm so grateful I do it. And Wycombe Wanderers are a fantastic club. They really are. The people behind the scenes who don't really get the limelight work so hard. And with the Cougs now in charge, the club are going places. I can say that for a fact. And Wycombe is a top club, and hopefully they'll be back in the Championship very soon.
The Bucks Free Press and Wycombe Wanderers. I mean, I remember as a kid I used to deliver the Bucks Free Press on a Friday. It used to make my paper bag weigh a ton. But yeah, it's a fantastic option for people to keep up to speed. But obviously online now is where a lot of the information goes, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, newspapers are a dying art. Not just for us, but for any organisation. It's all about the internet and how many stories you can upload there, because that is accessible to everyone all over the world. And whenever something breaking happens at Wycombe, I'm just trying to quickly get something up, just put a tweet out or what have you. And over the next few weeks, I've got a few good ideas which I'm hopefully going to put into action soon. And the paper comes out on Friday this week. There'll be a lot of coverage and reaction from the Chef Wednesday game, and a lot about Mehmeti as well. And I think that's positive news for every Wycombe across the world. So, yeah, we try and do our bit.
Good stuff. So where can people find you online and find your work? Where can they get you?
So if you were to go to www.bucksfreepress.co.uk, you'll see a lot of not just Wycombe Wanderers news, but news focusing all over the county. And if you want to drop a line on my Twitter, it's at James_BFP, where I'm trying to tweet as much as I can whilst keeping the editors and the boss happy. So that is where you should go.
And does Doctor Who still have to do an article in the Bucks Free Press?
Yes, he does. Yes, he
well.
does. And I am the person who has to put it on the page. So he's still around.
So not only do you report Wycombe Wanderers, you are an assistant to Doctor Who.
I am. I need to put that on my CV of achievements.
And being a football reporter, you said your granddad was into football. What do you think your granddad would make of you doing this now?
He would probably say, don't make a fuss, but we are going to make a fuss. And then he would say something like, just bring a brolly and make sure you've got a good pair of walking boots, which I actually don't. I've actually got a pair of running shoes. And if it is raining and it is snowing, I reckon I don't think that's going to go down too well with my feet. So I like to think he'll be smiling as he's looking down on me, but at the same time he'll say, "Oh, James, why are you making a fuss? I'm all right." But yeah.
Well, James, we fingers crossed for the weather and the walk, and you've got to get there because you've got to report on the game. So you've no pressure, but you've got to make it.
Well, I'm trying my best to do a daily walk, and I'm looking forward to it.
Right, that's your lot for this week. Many thanks to James, Hakan Hayrettin and the FSA for the free bar on Monday. We'll be back next week after the Burton game. In the meantime, wrap up warm and come on you Blues.